Hey guys, this is Brian Jones from Valhalla Academy in Frankfort, Kentucky, and this is an exclusive from MixedMartialWorld.com. Today we're going to work on the Turkish Get Up. This exercise should be in every grappler's routine, at least some of the time. It works the body in a way that is very functional for grappling because you're standing up with a load in an awkward position, what a lot of people would consider an awkward position, but really we're just basically standing in base. So we're going to be working under a load in a very functional movement pattern for grapplers. You can do this with a lot of different tools. Today I'm going to go through how to do it with a kettlebell and how to do it with a sandbag. Let's start with the kettlebell. Okay, so here I am with the kettlebell. I've got a light kettlebell. This is a movement that you're going to want to practice with a lighter kettlebell and then gradually work your way up. You can get up to some pretty heavy weights, but that's not what you want to start out with. Okay, this is a very high skill movement, and if you're off a little bit, you can actually drop this thing on yourself. So you want to stay in the moment. All right, so I'm going to show it from a couple different angles. We're going to start with our back to the mat and the kettlebell on one side of our body. So I have it here on the right side. In order to get the kettlebell over my chest in the start position, I'm going to rock over and grab it with both hands in tight, and then rock back to the center, okay? And this is different than grabbing it and trying to rotator cuff curl it this way, okay? So that's not going to work. That's going to end up causing an injury. So I rock over and come up to here. Now, depending on the weight, you can either press it or you can assist with the other hand. So this is a fairly light one, so I'll just press it up. Now I have the kettlebell in a locked position overhead, all right? So I have my lats contracted on the right side where I have my kettlebell. My core is nice and stable. The first part of this is I'm going to straighten the leg on this far side, and I'm going to sit up, and I can use this left hand for support. As I sit up, I'm going to push my shoulder towards the ceiling and keep this lat active and look at the kettlebell. Okay, so now I'm in essentially the stand and base position. Okay, so I'm posted on my left hand. I've got my right foot posted, my other foot's out in front, and I have a nice tall shoulder here reaching for the ceiling. I'm looking up as much as I can to keep my eye on this. From here, I'm going to lift my hips, and then I'm going to drag my leg under me until I get to a kneeling position and come to like a tall kneeling position. From the tall kneeling position, I'm going to just stand all the way up. Okay? And now, I can either bring the kettlebell here and return it to the floor, or I can reverse the whole position as part of the actual exercise and either repeat on the other arm or do multiple reps on that side. All right, so let's do it from this side. Right, so here we start out, we rock over, bring it up, press the kettlebell high, straighten the outside leg, drive up, okay, hip high, drag my knee in, high kneeling position, and stand. So, again, you can do these as single reps if you're going heavy. You can do them for sets, for time. So there's a lot of different ways of breaking this movement down. So now let's go on to the sandbag version. Alright guys, we're going to do the same movement now, but we're going to use a sandbag. I say it's the same movement, it's the same lift, but the technique is a little bit different because it's going to be on my shoulder rather than held at arm's length overhead. So I have a sandbag here that I just made out of an army duffel with some interior bag. It's a couple of contractor trash bags and some play sand I got at the hardware store. This one weighs about, I don't know, 70 pounds, 60 or 70 pounds. So you can make these as heavy or as light as you want. And this is a good way, cheap, go to the Army surplus store, get to use one of these, buy some sand. You're in it for about, I don't know, like $30, $40 max. It's a very versatile workout tool. So what I'm going to do is start the movement by bringing this onto my shoulder, okay, and then lying back on the ground. So From here, everything else is going to be the same that we discussed with a kettlebell, except instead of going overhead here, I'm going to just hug the sandbag. So I bring my leg out, post this, I'm going to sit up and drive through to here, lift the hips, come to a high kneeling position, and then stand. Okay? Again, we can do them one at a time, put the sandbag back to the ground, or we can reverse the direction here, hand down, back out. Okay? On the other side, the full movement. Alright guys, so there you have both versions of the Turkish Get Up. In the next little clip, you'll see a couple of grappling movements that closely mimic these in terms of movement patterns.